All right, let's just jump right in. Today's explainer is all about embarking on what the source material calls the seeker's journey. We are decoding Jupiter in the ninth house. Now, if you follow astrology at all, you already know this is an absolute powerhouse placement. But today, we're going to look at the hidden mechanics, the modern traps, and the relational dynamics that our sources reveal are actually completely overlooked most of the time.
Here is the map guiding our exploration today. We'll start with the House of Higher Truth, move into the natal soaker's trap, explore synastry and shared adventures, look at transits and the call to explore, and finally wrap up with embracing authentic wisdom.
But before we get into the actual mechanics, I want you to keep this really provocative question in mind. Are you sharing your truth or becoming a version of wisdom that others just expect to hear? This is literally the ultimate challenge for anyone navigating the energy of this specific placement, and you'll soon see exactly why. Part 1. The House of Higher Truth, Defining the Mechanics. So we all know Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, optimism, and wisdom, right? As the great benefic, it basically acts as the magnifying glass of the solar system. The sources remind us that wherever it lands, it brings an undeniable thirst for knowledge and just this massive, enthusiastic energy.
And then you combine that magnifying glass with the ninth house, which is the realm of higher knowledge, philosophy, spirituality, and travel. This is the ultimate domain of the seeker. It's a space entirely focused on pushing past physical and mental borders to grasp the deep meaning of life.
When you put them together, Jupiter just explodes within the realm of ultimate truth. Because Jupiter naturally rules the ninth house, placing the planet of expansion here creates an incredibly powerful, confident voice with a super optimistic outlook and a perpetual need for growth. It's a beautifully expansive energy, for short. But digging into the sources, we find it carries a surprisingly heavy modern burden. Part 2. The Natal Seeker's Trap. Wisdom in the Age of Audiences. Our sources highlight a really fascinating core tension here. The ninth house asks for personal truth, but our modern world heavily rewards visible expression. People with this placement naturally want to share their philosophies. I mean, they're born teachers. But in a culture driven by social media, there's a really subtle danger. A deeply held, incredibly complex belief can slowly be flattened into a mere caption, engineered just for likes and validation. It's that subtle slide from authentic wisdom to performed wisdom. Authentic wisdom is lived, it's messy, it's unfinished, and it actually welcomes doubt. Performed wisdom, on the other hand, is refined, softened, and packaged perfectly for an audience. It completely avoids doubt because it desperately wants to appear certain. It's the classic Instagram guru trap, where you become so invested in the aesthetic of wisdom that you're suddenly terrified to disappoint your followers by changing your mind. Part 3. Synastry, Shared Adventures, Growing Together. Let's switch gears and look at what happens in a relationship dynamic. The Jupiter person acts as the guide. They bring this excited, purposeful, and expansive energy to the table. And the ninth house person becomes the explorer, feeling deeply inspired by their partner's vast vision. But our research shows a distinct shadow risk here. The Jupiter person can unintentionally impose their worldview, leaving the ninth house person feeling anxious or totally overshadowed by the sheer scale of those massive ideas. It usually boils down to this kind of tension. The Jupiter person enthusiastically says yes first and figures it out later, while the ninth house person desperately needs to see the map before they take the leap. Imagine planning an ambitious cross-country move together. Thrilling, right? But it can cause massive anxiety for the ninth house person if you both get swept up in the wild optimism and completely forget to check your bank accounts or set a realistic timeline. So, to make this beautifully expansive connection actually work, you have to actively respect your differing beliefs without constantly trying to convert one another. You really need to balance those grand adventures with mundane daily grounding. Keep learning mutually, and absolutely avoid over-idealizing each other. Doing this prevents what the sources brilliantly call energetic vampirism, allowing you to actually celebrate your shared growth rather than completely burn each other out. Part 4. Transits. The Call to Explore, Expanding Horizons. When Jupiter transits this space, it triggers a really powerful evolution. It's like a cosmic alarm clock. First, you might find yourself deeply questioning the existing beliefs that anchor your life. That quickly turns into an undeniable pull to expand your horizons, maybe through spontaneous international travel, or finally diving into that higher study you've been putting off. Ultimately, you're tasked with integrating these brand new truths into your daily routine. It enthusiastically yanks you right out of your comfort zone. This transit acts as a profound catalyst for personal growth. It is the absolute perfect time to engage with different cultures or dive headfirst into complex academics. But here is a fascinating detail from the source material that actually surprised me. Because the ninth house also governs law, this transit is highly known for bringing surprisingly favorable resolutions to lingering legal matters. Pretty wild, right? Part 5. Embracing authentic wisdom, the ultimate challenge. Whether we are talking about your natal chart, relationship synastry, or a passing transit, our sources point to one true goal. Just one. Achieving absolute alignment between what you feel in your soul and what you actually say to the world. It's all about ensuring your growth is completely genuine, not just some performance put on for the benefit of others. I want to leave you with a final thought drawn directly from our sources. There is power in your voice, but that power needs honesty. Not perfection, not performance. Just truth as it is. Are you brave enough to drop the performance, embrace the messy reality of doubt, and simply live your truth? Let that question sit with you on your own seeker's journey.